The following video contains scenes of culinary dismemberment. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello and welcome to Cookery with Mason Storm. On today's episode, I'm going to teach you how to Spatchcock or butterfly a turkey for rapid cooking. Okay, time for us to begin. So we have our turkey here. I let it thaw overnight, and I think this is in the 20-pound range. I'm not entirely sure. I carried it back from the store, my arm didn't fall off, so it's probably good that way. So I'm just going to get it out of the bag and flip it over. Because when we do a Spatchcocking, it's essentially a removal of the spine of the bird. But before I start doing any of that, I need to clean up this bloody mess I have here. So I'll just drain all the juices off of here, and usually you pat down the bird a little bit. I think I did and somehow didn't record it. But we can start the process. Now the best item to use to do this is scissors, and you can actually just kind of snip down the spine where it connects to the rib cage, and you can sever it really easily that way. I, however, don't have a set of cooking shears, so I'm just using a knife. And I'm doing the wide cut method, so I have a lot more of the spine and the ribs in the section that I'm severing. You can go a lot closer to the spine, right where the ribs connect to the spine, and then you don't have as big of a piece. But I'm going to be using this for stock, and having a little bit more meat on it makes the stock taste a little bit better. So that's why I'm doing the wide cut. And I've had really good luck with doing this. And the big thing to note is that if you're pushing really hard, you don't want your hand anywhere near in front of it. You want your hand on the back side of the blade at all times. And sometimes you can saw and it will start to yield. Other times you have to press and then it will yield. And if it doesn't go anywhere, try on a different side and just find somewhere where the bird will submit to the removal of its spine. Either way, it's not too terrible. It is definitely more intense than just throwing it in the oven and cooking it. But this will save in cooking time significantly because we're able to flatten out the bird. And here we go, the spine has now been removed. And I took the neck out as well, and I'm going to use that for making the stock as well. Just kind of inspecting it here and giving a little light press on the top, and you can get it nice and flat. Perfect. Separate the legs here. Now you could throw it in the oven just like this, and that's perfect. But I like to go a little bit further when I'm Spatchcocking my turkeys. So I'm going to take it to the next level. So the next level is going to be removing the ribs, removing the breastbone, and quartering the bird. So we're going to start with the ribs. So we're just going to lift up on them so we can expose where they're connected and then cut them where they're connected. It's right between the rib and the breastbone. And it goes pretty quick. It's probably the easier of the step. Now removing the actual breastbone itself, that's a little bit tricky, because it's attached on the sides as well as in the middle. So what we do is we kind of follow the edge from the sides down to the middle on both sides, and it will somewhat separate. And at the top half, I'm actually going to break where the legs are connected, where the wings are connected to the breast. And because it all goes right up in there, right into that, I guess that'd be like the shoulder of the bird, maybe. But it's hard to get it to release without having it severed up there. That little cut right there that we just saw, that kind of separated it. And then you can see how it starts to kind of pull away. And with a lot of things, especially with carving and dissection and trimming away meat or butchering or whatever, a lot of it's pulling and then getting the knife at the right angle, and it should slide nice and easy most of the time. And if you're doing anything too Rambo style, odds are you're doing it wrong, or there's a better way of doing it. And it's kind of letting the blade do the cutting, and it's just a matter of finding that weak spot and pushing down with slow, gentle force till it severs. And here I'm just picking away a lot of little bones and little shards that remain, trying to kind of clean it up as much as I can. Any kind of excess skin or flabbiness that you're not going to eat after cooking, you might as well take it off now just to clean everything up. You want to have your bird nice and clean. Any kind of giant fatty mass of skin, I mean, you might as well just get rid of it. And here's where I'm starting to cut it into my quarters. Although I say quarters, I'm actually going to do a little bit more than that, because I'm going to actually take off the wings as well, and I'm going to cook them up in the same sheet, but they're kind of their own little thing. And a lot of it too is you just got to cut the right direction, and if you're using force, you got to be even more careful, because you really don't want to cut yourself. And that can happen very easily with doing something like this. And there I just snap the wing so then it will separate, because I can cut right into the joint and it just kind of falls apart. Perfect. And I'm going to do the same to the other side here. And let the blade do the cutting. If you don't snap them first, it's a lot trickier to get the blade in, but when you break them, then you kind of separate a little bit, and then there's room for the blade to kind of just slice in. Now that we're done with the bird, it's time for a little bit of a light seasoning, and then we can get it in the oven. So I'm just going to drizzle on some oil, put some fresh cracked pepper on, as well as some fresh salt, and toss her in the oven at 350 degrees, and I'm going to cook her for a few hours and cook it till it's done with the use of a thermometer. It really varies with the weight of the turkey on how long it takes to cook. As far as telling when the turkey is done, I suggest using a thermometer and testing in multiple locations. Right here I'm just testing in the thickest part of the breast and where it connects to the wing, but you also want to check in the thigh, in the dark meat, because that's usually takes the longest to cook in that general direction. And if it's not quite done, or you want to cook it more, just throw her back in and give it another half hour or an hour and let it just keep cooking away. Either way, this is far faster than it is to roast a turkey, so if you run out of time, this is a quick way to save time. This is a really great way to do a turkey, very quick, and I just had mine with a little bit of turkey gravy, some green stuff that Mother made, as well as a salad, and it was a very fulfilling meal. So let me know in the comments below what you did for your turkey dinner. And if you like this content and would like to see more of it, please subscribe. And until next time, stay awesome.